because we all have been subject to environmental poisons at different times in our lives. And whenever an environmental poison comes into our body, the first place it goes is the liver. And the liver, I call the liver the project manager, because the liver is the one that deals with everything that comes in. So if an environmental poison comes in, it goes straight to the liver, as everything does.
Have you ever wondered what's really behind fatty liver disease and why so many people are affected by it? Is it just linked to poor diet, or is there something else we're missing? Fatty liver disease is a condition where too much fat builds up in the liver cells. If not treated or managed, it can lead to serious health issues, including permanent liver damage. But don't worry, Dr. Barbara O'Neill is here for your rescue. Meet Dr. Barbara O'Neill, an Australian speaker known for promoting alternative health practices and natural healing. She believes in food as a medicine philosophy. According to her, the body can heal itself with the right conditions. Dr. Barbara O'Neill explains that the liver is a very important organ because it is like the body's project manager. It is responsible for processing and managing toxins that enter our system. She explains that when we consume food, breathe air, or come into contact with chemicals, these toxins go straight to the liver. The liver then decides how to handle them, either breaking them down for elimination or storing them safely in fat to prevent harm. Dr. O'Neill has revealed some shocking truths about fatty liver disease, something that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. Let's find out what she has to say about the importance of the liver, what causes a fatty liver, and how to treat the condition.
Why God made the liver to be a recoverable organ, because many people would not be living today if it wasn't a recoverable organ. Being a recoverable organ, it is able to regenerate and it is able to regrow.
Dr. O'Neill explains that even if a significant portion of the liver is damaged or removed, the liver can grow back to its original size and function. This regenerative capacity is crucial as the liver plays an essential role in detoxifying the body, metabolizing nutrients, and producing important proteins for blood clotting, among other functions. What makes the liver especially recoverable is that even if up to 70% of it is damaged, the remaining healthy cells can divide and multiply, restoring the liver to its full size within a few months.
So environmental poisons come in, and the liver has a look at some of them and says, we can process that and eliminate it, but this one's nasty. We've got to wrap it up in fat and store it.
When harmful toxins enter the body, the liver acts as a filter, deciding whether it can process and eliminate these substances. For many environmental toxins, the liver can break them down into less harmful compounds, and then they are expelled through the body through urine or bile. Dr. Barbara explains that when the liver encounters particularly dangerous or hard to process toxins, it has a protective mechanism. It wraps these toxins in fat. But why? This process happens because some toxins are fat soluble, meaning they dissolve better in fat than in water, and the liver surrounds these toxins with fat molecules and stores them in fat cells, both within the liver itself and possibly in other areas of the body. This storage helps prevent the toxins from circulating in the bloodstream and damaging vital organs.
Now, while I'm talking about the liver, I'd like to stop for a moment and talk about fatty liver. Fatty liver has been quite common with usually alcoholics.
Dr. Barbara shares that if the liver continues to store more and more toxins this way, it can accumulate fat, leading to the condition known as fatty liver disease. As a result, the liver becomes less efficient at functioning.
And if the liver looks at it and says, no, we can break that down to a state that can be easily released, that is what it will do. What about food? Let me show you what it does with the food that comes in.
After food is digested, nutrients like sugars, fats, and proteins enter the bloodstream and are transported to the liver. The liver converts these nutrients into forms that the body can use, such as glucose for energy, while also storing certain nutrients like vitamins for later use. Additionally, the liver breaks down fats for energy or storage, detoxifies harmful substances like toxins and drugs, and produces bile, which is essential for digesting fats and absorbing fat-soluble vitamins. Now that we are aware of the function of the liver, let's move forward and explore which foods Barbara O'Neill points out as contributors to fatty liver disease.
We're first of all going to have a look at what your liver does with the food that you eat. And never in the history of mankind have human beings consumed so many carbohydrates. We've become high carbohydrate consumers. Whether I'm in England or Scotland or Australia or America, high carbohydrate consumers. The most popular breakfast food is cereal. We know it's popular because there's a whole aisle devoted to it in the supermarket. And it's very popular because people don't have to cook. All they have to do is open the packet, pour it into a bowl, pour milk on it, goes like wet tissue paper, it's down the hatch quickly, and they're out the door.
She highlights that modern diets, particularly those high in refined carbohydrates like breakfast cereals, are a major contributor to the fatty liver disease. Cereals are full of refined sugars and starches. And when cereals are consumed, they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels because refined carbs are quickly broken down into glucose. The liver then processes this glucose, converting it into glycogen for energy, or if it's in excess, it stores it as fat. The issue arises when people consume cereals regularly, especially those cereals high in added sugars and low in fiber. Over time, the liver becomes overwhelmed by the excess sugar intake, and the liver converts that excess glucose into fat, which can accumulate in the liver cells, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Number 2, bread and cakes.
Another quick breakfast can be bread, toast. Now, because these two foods don't take you very far, usually mid-morning people are looking for cakes, cookies, donuts, so we'll say cakes, etc.
Bread and cakes, which are typically made from refined flour and unhealthy fats, can contribute to fatty liver disease when eaten frequently. Refined flour is quickly digested, causing rapid spikes in the blood sugar and insulin levels. The unhealthy fats found in many baked goods can promote fat buildup in the liver, ultimately leading, you got it, fatty liver disease. Number 3, pizza and pasta.
And I know in Australia, Australians love their pies. That's another quick food. And Europeans have introduced us all to pizza, another fast food. Pasta, I don't think there's a home today without pasta in it. But as a child, growing up in the 50s, 60s, we didn't know what pasta was. I don't think it was till probably the mid-70s when I was in my 20s that I first had pasta.
Pizza and pasta, popular foods made with refined flour, can contribute to fatty liver disease when eaten frequently. Pizza dough, which often contains yeast, is made from a refined flour that breaks down quickly in the body, again leading to these blood sugar spikes. Over time, this can cause insulin resistance, resulting in fat storage inside of the liver. Additionally, pizza is usually topped with high-fat ingredients like cheese and processed meats, which further add to the liver fat. Pasta, especially when made from white flour, has similar effects as it lacks fiber, making it digest quickly and promoting fat accumulation to the liver. Number 4, rice.
Also, rice. I know as a 5th generation Australian Scottish descent, we actually really never had rice. It wasn't until I was about 18, 19 and started going to Chinese restaurants that we started having rice.
Rice, especially white rice, when consumed in large amounts, can cause fatty liver disease due to its high glycemic index. White rice is a refined grain, meaning it has been stripped of its fiber and nutrients, causing it to be quickly digested and absorbed by the body. Switching to brown rice or other whole grains, which are high in fiber, can help slow digestion and reduce the risk of fat buildup in the liver. Number 5, potatoes.
My husband's an Irishman, so every main meal must contain potatoes. In Australia, we call them chips. I think in America, you call them French fries. Is that right?
Dr. O'Neill explains that potatoes, especially when consumed in large quantities or in processed forms like fried potatoes or chips, can contribute to fatty liver disease. Potatoes are high in starch, which is a type of carbohydrate that the body quickly converts into glucose, again leading to spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. When eaten frequently, it makes it difficult for the body to regulate blood sugar and results in excess fat being stored in the liver. Number 6, sugar.
And the pure crystallized acid that's been extracted from the sugarcane plant, sugar. Would you agree with me? We've become high carbohydrate consumers, and one of the reasons I think is it's just there, it's just easy.
When you consume too much sugar, especially fructose from sweetened drinks and processed foods, the liver processes it and converts the excess into, you got it, fat. This fat gets stored in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease. Over time, this fat buildup can build inflammation and damage to liver cells. The liver also becomes less effective at managing blood sugar, which leads to insulin resistance. And this further worsens fat accumulation in the liver. Research has shown that high fructose diets significantly increase the risk of developing fatty liver disease. So reducing sugar intake is key to promoting your liver health.
So the first place that the liver will send the glucose is to the cell to be burnt as fuel. But on a high carbohydrate diet, we've still got a lot of glucose left over. And so now the liver causes, especially the muscle cell, to store it like a little bunch of grapes, but they're little molecules of glucose. These little molecules of glucose are called glycogen. So that's the second place that the glucose is sent, as glycogen. They're called quick-release glucose stores.
Dr. Barbara explains that when you eat carbohydrates, they are broken down into glucose, which is a type of sugar that the body uses for energy. The liver plays a key role in managing this glucose. First, the liver sends glucose to the cells throughout the body, especially muscle cells, where it is burned as fuel to provide energy. However, when you consume a lot of carbohydrates, there can be more glucose than the body immediately needs for energy. And in this case, the liver starts storing the extra glucose in muscle cells in a form called glycogen. Glycogen is like a stored form of glucose, often described as being stored like little bunches of grapes in muscle cells. Glycogen can be quickly broken back down into glucose when the body needs more energy later on. This process allows the body to have a quick release energy source for future use when needed, especially during physical activity or between meals.
But on a high carbohydrate diet, we've still got glucose left over. And so now the body stores that glucose under the direction of the liver in the most amazing fuel depot in the body. It's called fat cells. And what's happening to Americans on their high carbohydrate diet? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the third place that the liver will cause all the excess to be stored is as fat.
This process of converting excess glucose into fat is closely linked to the development of fatty liver disease. Dr. O'Neill explains that when you consistently consume a high carbohydrate diet, the liver uses what it can for energy and stores extra glucose as glycogen. Any leftover glucose is converted into fat. And while some of this fat is stored in fat cells around the body, a portion of it can also accumulate in the liver itself. And over time, this buildup of fat in the liver leads to fatty liver disease, where fat makes up more than 5 to 10% of the liver's weight. And this impairs the liver's ability to function properly. So, to prevent fatty liver disease, it's important to limit your intake of carbohydrates, especially refined carbs and sugars. Another key factor in improving liver health is supporting its natural detoxification process by incorporating certain foods into your diet. Dr. Barbara has shared some shocking liver detox discoveries that seem nearly illegal to know. Number 1, liver herbs.
Now, there are a couple of herbs that you might be interested to know that specifically have a tonic effect on the liver. In Psalm 104, verse 14, the Bible says that God gave herbs for the service of man. I love that verse because you just picture the herbs coming in. They come in and say, where would you like me? All your bitter herbs. So let's look at some bitter herbs. Dandelion. Dandelion is a well-known liver herb. Also St. Mary's thistle. St. Mary's thistle is also called milk thistle. And gentian, this is not as well known. Gentian is also an incredibly bitter herb, and a sweet bitter is ginger.
Dr. Barbara can swear to the power of herbs for liver detoxification. Liver herbs such as dandelion, St. Mary's thistle or milk thistle, gentian, and ginger stimulate bile production in the liver, which is essential for digesting fats and eliminating toxins from the body. These herbs contain polysaccharides that may help reduce stress on the liver, supporting its ability to filter out harmful substances. Number 2, lemon.
Lemon, the humble lemon, has a great tonic effect. You might have heard the old saying, bitter to the mouth, sweet to the stomach. And sweet to the mouth, bitter to the stomach. Well, you apply that to the liver. Bitter to the mouth, it's a sweet to the tonic. So to the liver, a sweet tonic to the liver.
Dr. O'Neill explains that even though lemon has a bitter taste, it can act as a tonic or restorative agent for the liver, providing beneficial effects despite its unpleasant flavor. Now, what are tonics? Tonics are substances believed to have a strengthening or a restorative effect on the body or a specific organ, such as the liver. Now, lemons act as a tonic for the liver in several ways. First, they stimulate the production of bile, which aids in digestion and breaking down fats. Also, lemons are rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, which help the liver detoxify and remove harmful substances. Number 3, proteins.
Within 48 hours of doing a detox program, if you don't supply any protein, the liver can suffer 25% liver function loss. You see, if you're on a detox program and you're starting to release environmental poisons and you're not supplying the protein, the liver goes, whoa, quick, we're going to have to start breaking down and supplying the amino acids that are necessary to mop up these nasty guys.
She states that within 48 hours of starting a detox without sufficient protein intake, the liver can suffer up to a 25% loss in function. This is because the liver needs amino acids from protein to bind to the released toxins, making them water-soluble so that they can be safely eliminated from the body. A protein-rich diet can support liver detoxification by providing essential amino acids that help repair liver cells and produce important antioxidants like glutathione, which breaks down toxins. Opting for lean protein sources like chicken, fish, eggs, legumes, and nuts ensures that you get the benefits of protein without burdening the liver with excess fats. These proteins help the liver function efficiently, aiding in all-natural detoxification and preventing fat buildup, which is key to maintaining a healthy liver.
So let's say for breakfast you have millet or you have oats. If you have chia seed on top of that and some ground flaxseed and some coconut milk and also nuts and seeds and some fruit, that is a meal that is high in fibre with quite generous proteins and healthy fats.
As you can tell from the clip, the liver is one of the most important organs in the body. It's responsible for detoxifying harmful substances, processing nutrients, and regulating metabolism. However, when fat builds up in the liver, it can lead to fatty liver disease, a condition that, if left untreated, can cause serious damage, including inflammation, scarring, and even liver failure. Preventing fatty liver is crucial for maintaining overall health. One of the most effective ways to do this is by controlling your intake of refined carbs and sugars, which are the major contributors to fat accumulation in the liver. Additionally, incorporating liver-friendly foods, like as recommended by Dr. Barbara O'Neill, can support natural detoxification and promote liver recovery.
That stimulate the liver. Remember, the liver is a recoverable organ, and if you give it the right conditions, it can begin to recover.
So, are you paying much attention to your liver health? Are there foods in your diet that might be contributing to fat buildup? What steps will you take today to support your liver's recovery? Leave your answer in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this information helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights on improving your health and well-being. Remember, you are what you eat, so nurture your health. Hit subscribe now and remember to take your daily dose of longevity seed for a vibrant life.